Before beginning the process, remember to always use safety glasses. Before attempting to remove any tire from a wheel, first remove all the wheel weights from both sides of the wheel using the wheel weight hammer. Using a valve core removal tool, remove the valve core from the valve stem to deflate the tire. The next step is to break down both the inside and outside beads of the tire. To do this, place the wheel against the pad on the tire machine, making sure the valve stem is 90 degrees from the bead breaker on the machine. This is necessary in order to prevent damage to the TPMS sensor, which in many cases is located within the valve stem. In other cases, the sensor is mounted on a band and located 180 degrees from the valve stem. In either case, placing the valve stem 90 degrees from the bead breaker will help prevent damage to the sensor. You may have to break down each side of the bead in more than one place to completely release the bead of the tire from the wheel. This necessary step will allow for much easier removal of the tire from the wheel. Place the tire assembly on the turntable of the machine with the valve stem facing up. Use the clamp control pedal to move the clamps inward, clamping the wheel to the turntable. Apply an appropriate tire lube to both bead areas to prevent tearing of the bead during removal. Move the swing arm into position. Pull the locking handle forward to release the slide. Push down on the top of the vertical slide to move the demount head into contact with the rim edge. Push the locking handle back and lock the slide into place. Turn the swing arm adjustment knob to move the demount head approximately 1/8 inch away from the rim. Insert the smooth curved end of the bead lifting bar over the forward end of the demount head and below the top bead of the tire. Lift the bead up and over the duck head. Depress the tabletop pedal to rotate the wheel. The duck head will guide the tire bead up and over the edge of the wheel. You may need to push down on the tire directly across from the demount head to utilize the drop center off the wheel to reduce the force on the top bead. Lift the tire and repeat the process for the bottom bead, removing the tire. When replacing the valve stem assembly, use a valve stem removal tool and a rag to protect the wheel. Remove the valve stem. Clean and check the valve stem hole for any damage. Using a valve stem tool, carefully pull the new valve into place. Lubricate both tire beads with the appropriate rubber lubricant. Place the tire over the wheel and move the swing arm into position. Position the tire so that the lower bead is above the rear extension of the duck head and below the front knob. Depress the tabletop pedal and rotate the wheel to mount the lower bead. Push down on the upper bead just ahead of the mounting tool and follow as the tire rotates, mounting the upper bead. Position the valve stem in front of you and connect the inflation hose. Lift and hold the tire up against the upper edge of the wheel. Depress the inflation pedal slightly to begin airflow through the valve. In some cases, it may be necessary to fully depress the pedal to the bottom position momentarily, less than a second, before releasing the pedal to the previous position. The blast of air from the lower jets will expand the tire and seal the beads. Release the clamps on the turntable before fully inflating the tire. Make sure both beads are fully seated. Using a tire gauge, inflate the tire to the vehicle manufacturer's specified air pressure for that vehicle. This information can normally be found on the driver's door placard. The procedure is now complete. If you have any questions regarding this process, please direct them to your manager. Belle Tire encourages you to view this video periodically.